Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining this session on getting started with online examinations. I see there is still quite a lot of people still joining in as well. So my name is Richard Wright. I'm from the ADOVH, that's the Academic Development Open Virtual Hub. I will be taking you through today through these steps on how you prepare for your online examinations. So there is quite a lot of information to cover. We will also share the resources with you where you can go practice everything that we guide you through. We've also got various team members from student support and also from ADOVH that will be assisting you in the chat as well. So please ask your questions in the chat. Now, just to get started, I'm going to put in the chat a link for a pre-assessment. So please complete this pre-course assessment before we start with the session. I will share a link at the end of the session as well. And this is a good indication for you just to see what are the aspects that you need to know. And then, and you'll see actually through the session, you will learn all these various topics. So when you do the post-assessment, it's your own reflection of everything that you have learned. I'll see, oh, Nick is here from the Invigilator team. Nick, if you can just, oh, I see you're already a presenter as well. So we will give Nick an opportunity to present the Invigilator app. And there's early on so that he doesn't have to stay the whole session. So as you can see, the steps that we will be walking through is, how can I say, the first one is preparation. How do you ensure what proctoring tool you will be using? What are the required devices that you will need for the exams? And we will cover the various proctoring tools as well. Then the second step is writing the exams. How do you actually access the exams portal? Remember, you're not writing on my modules, it will be on myExams. And each college has their own instance of myExams as well. We will touch on, the different types of exams that you will encounter, the take home and quiz, the MCQ, and then also likely touch on academic integrity. But I believe all of you have done the integrity course this year already. So you should have a good understanding of what is academic integrity and why it's so important that we proctor these various exams. Then lastly, we will, where do you go if you need support? There's various support structures available at UNISA. You can, the student support contact center. You can also go to your regional centers to ask support, but we will cover all of that as well. So the pre-course assessment is in the chat. Please complete the pre-course assessment while we're still doing the introductions. So this will really give you a good idea, the topics that we will be covering. And if you will also highlight to you if there's any aspects that you're perhaps not sure about. Then also, if you're having problems with sound or audio, the link for the YouTube stream is also in the chat. So you can watch on YouTube as well and still have the chat open if you want to ask a question. But we just want to make sure that if you have audio problems or video problems, there is another alternative, and that is YouTube. So let's start with step one, preparation for the examinations. So there's quite a few things that you need to, do to prepare for the examinations. But one of the most important one is the myExams support site. So you can write down this URL. I'll also put the link in the chat for you so that you can easily open it up. Just a note, currently the site is very slow. So we will try and demo for you as much as possible on the site. ICT is currently working on to fix the problem. So we will, show the demos, but if you're struggling to access it now, but tomorrow morning it should be fixed up and running at full speed again. So the link is in the chat, the direct link to the actual course. but you can also use this myExams guide URL or scan the QR code that's in this window. Now I'm just quickly going to show you what this site is, how you access it. So this is actually on the My Student Skills Hub. This is where we host a lot of open courses. It's also where we have the co-curricular activities. So if you visit this, it's very easy to find as well. You can just type in UNISA My Student Skills Hub, or even shorter, you can just type in ADOBH, UNISA, and search for it, and it should be one of the first ones. It's My Student Skills Hub. I don't know if I click too quickly on that button for you to see the name, but this will open up the page as well. As you can see, it's really running very, very slow at the moment, but we will demo for you as much as possible. So if you're on the main page, one of the courses that we will be working through today is the myExams guides. Now, just remember, you need to log in for to access the guides. So we take you all UNISA students. So that's why you will be writing your exams. Now, so when you log in, you can click at the top left. You log in, and you log in with your MyLife email account. So it's a full email address, student number at mylife.unisa.ac.za. You sign in with the same password that you use for your Office 365 and for my modules. All of them are synced up. So you don't need to register or anything. You just sign in with your MyLife account, and your account will then be automatically created. So as I mentioned, the course that we will be looking at today is the basic skills for online exams, specifically made for our examinations at UNISA, where we use various tools, the proctoring tools, and also a dedicated platform where you write your exams. So please make sure before the end of the session that you've got access to the platform. Now, there is a few things that you do need to do before in preparation. One is on my modules. So this is not my exams. On my modules, you do need your profile picture. So it's very easy. We'll go through the steps of adding that profile picture. So that's one thing you do is a requirement for exams. The next thing is you need to know exactly which proctoring tools you will be using. Remember, you will not be using two proctoring tools at the same time. It will always just be one of them that you will be using. So that's why it's important you know beforehand which proctoring tools you're going to be using, so you prepare only for those ones. For instance, if you are not going to be using the Invigilator app, you will actually not be able to even register on the app itself. So that's why it's critical that you know which ones you're going to be using, and you only prepare for those specific ones. So to add a profile picture on my UNISA, it's very easy. I can quickly show you. Let me just log in here, my UNISA. So this is where you've submitted all your assignments, everything that you've been doing up to now. So you log into my modules. Once you log in, you click on your profile, and then you can see edit profile. So very important, on edit profile, if you scroll down, there's a user picture that you can upload. So the pictures that works the best are the ones that are in landscape mode, because sometimes if you take it with your phone and it's portrait, it might tend to flip it on its side, but just crop it into a square or into landscape and just upload it again, and it will be uploaded. Display correctly. Now, just very important with these pictures that you upload, unfortunately, you can't upload pictures of your dogs or animals. It needs to be where your face is clearly visible. So, because those is actually photos are used with Moodle proctoring to determine if it is you actually writing the examination. So once you upload your profile picture, as you say, make sure it's where your face is clearly visible, and you upload that picture. And then at the bottom, you can just say save changes and the picture will display automatically. Now, secondly, preparation, very important. You need to know which proctoring tools you use. So I'll put in the chat the direct link to the proctoring lookup tool. I'm just quickly going to open it up here as well. So on this page that we've got, the basic skills for online exams, it's actually at two places. So you can scroll down what proctoring tool will my module use. You can click on that one, but we've also got it actually as lesson 3 as well, where it is first uploading your my module's profile picture. So if you need that steps, there's a short video as well that you can quickly reference on how to do it correctly. And then also we've got what proctoring tool will my module use. Now just note this where we get quite a lot of questions is uploading your my module's profile picture, then you log into the exams and suddenly there's no picture. So remember, as long as it displays on my modules, you're good to go. It will not display on my exams, but I will show you later as we access the exams portals as well. So for now, I just want to look at the section, what proctoring tool will you use? Let's see if it's got a tab for it open. I also will have to wait for this one to load on the side. Oh, here we go. Because as you can see, the site is still relatively slow, but they are working on it. So the proctoring lookup tool works very easy. You just type in the module that you will be writing, so your module code, and it will pop up. So you do it one by one. So for instance, this Math 4833, we will be using IRIS proctoring because they're in the College of Science, Engineering, and Technology. Let's have a look at ENG, for instance. This one will use this College of Human Sciences, ENG 1511, will use the Invigilator app. So just type in your modules, see which proctoring tool you will be using, and then it will actually, you only focus on those specific ones. There are also now modules using Turnitin. So that's automatically on the platform where you submit. It will capture, tell you that you will just be using Turnitin, so you don't need to worry about other proctoring tools, as that one will just be using the Turnitin functionality, and that's usually for your essays and research type of modules. So just note, some modules only use now Turnitin, but the majority of modules still use the free main proctoring tools, and that will be the Moodle proctoring, Invigilator app, and then IRIS. So even while we're doing this session, go type in your module codes here, see exactly which proctoring tool you'll be using. And then when we cover that sections, you only focus on really on the ones that you will be writing. So just a quick note on required devices. Because this is an online university, you do need certain types of devices to successfully partake in the assessments and also the online exams. Now, for instance, if you're going to be using the Invigilator app, remember UNISA only uses the mobile version. So you need a phone that's not older than 5 years, preferably, have where the operating system is up to date, have access to the internet, and make sure it's got space. So we know, you like taking pictures and all of that, but these proctoring tools also require space to save, the recordings, the images that you take. So make sure that your phone has enough space for it. In addition to that, a working camera, microphone, and sound. Now, if you're going to be doing it also on your laptop, remember you can have the Invigilator app running next to you on your desk while you actually type out everything on your computer. So preferably, especially if you're also going to be using IRIS, that only works on laptops and desktops, you do need a preferably Windows that's updated, also access to the internet, that make sure that it can run productivity apps, at a good pace. It will ensure that it will work with the proctoring tools that's being used as well. And preferably, you should be using the latest Chrome or Edge, as this is tested with all the proctoring tools. So make sure that you're using one of those browsers for compatibility. And then remember, if you're going to be doing Moodle proctoring, for instance, you do need a working camera. So remember, if you've got a desktop, you need a webcam. But if you've got a laptop, it will use the camera that's built into your laptop. Make sure also, especially if you're doing Iris, that it's got a working microphone. You may not wear any headsets. Also sound, that you can hear the notifications, and obviously access to the internet through Wi-Fi. So remember, these devices are the required devices, preferably. If you don't have one, borrow one for your exams so that you know you can write these exams and not worry about your equipment that you're using. So we're going to dive into the various proctoring tools. So remember, there are 3 types of proctoring tools. So the first one is Moodle proctoring. This is only used for MCQ exams. So that's the quizzes. If you already did an assignment where you use the quiz tool, it's exactly the same, how can I say, the setup. But we will go through exactly how you prepare for Moodle proctoring. The second one is the Invigilator app. This is the app that runs on your phone. This is used for take-home exams. And these are, if you used assignments, uploaded assignments before, uses the same tool, only that you run the app next to you on your mobile device. Then lastly, we've got Iris. Now, I want to see if there is any students from the College of Science, Engineering, Technology. Just raise your hand or give a say in the chat so we know who to focus on when we get to the Iris invigilation. I see there's one hand going up. So yes, so Iris invigilation is only used currently by the College of Science, Engineering, and Technology. Some CTA exams also use it. Oh, so I see there's quite a few that's going to be using Iris. So remember, Iris you're going to be using for both MCQ and take-home exams. So this is the only one that's different, and it's only the College of Science, Engineering, and Technology that uses Iris invigilation. If you're not within that college, you will either use Moodle proctoring or the Invigilator app. So make sure, go to that link, copy the link. I see I've never copied you actually in the chat. Let me just copy you the direct link to this lookup tool so that you can quickly access it and make sure that it is that you have access to it. I see there's a question, do we use 2 devices when using Invigilator app? Preferably. Kagiso, preferably run the app on your phone and then use your laptop to type out your assessment and for uploading to myExams. You can even use 2 mobile devices as well. Although it does have a built-in browser that you can also use, that we will demo when we get to that one. So at this stage, I'm actually going to hand over first to, we just see if Nick is here, Nick Ramir from the Invigilator app. So just to take us through how you set up the Invigilator app and how you prepare for the Invigilator app. And Nick, over to you.
Thanks so much, Richard. I think good evening, everyone. Nice to be with you all again. I can't believe it's mid-year exams approaching. Yeah, time goes quickly. I'm going to share a couple of things. I'm going to be working from the resources that everyone should have available. Yeah, on the different UNISA platforms. So the first resource I'm going to use is just a basic presentation, just to explain a little bit first about us, who the Invigilator is, why we're using it, and then I'm going to get into exactly how you should use it. So I think the first thing is that the reason Invigilator is there, and this is now our 6th year in working with UNISA, so it's nothing to worry about in terms of using the app. It's been built specifically with you in mind, and it's there to make sure that everyone is writing exams in the right way, so that no one questions the credibility of all of the work that you're putting in to earn these hard-earned degrees. And that's why we exist as a company in terms of the Invigilator, and we work with a number of the universities and schools across South Africa and Africa. So the solution has been created with you in mind, with the UNISA student in mind, making sure that it's easy to use, it's accessible, it works on the devices that you have access to. So any entry-level smartphone device, our solution works off of. You can download the Invigilator application from any one of the app stores. So it doesn't matter what app store, as long as you've got a phone that's got a working camera, microphone, and access to one of the app stores, you can simply visit that app store, type in the Invigilator app, and you will be able to download that application. Please make sure you do this in advance of your first test. Don't do it on the day of your first test, because just in case you need any assistance from our support team, rather do it with a few days in advance, so that if we do need to assist you, we can then do that for you. What does the Invigilator app do? Well, essentially, the Invigilator app is going to make sure you are behaving, or everyone is behaving the way they should do, just like when you used to write in your exam venue. So first of all, the application is going to prompt you at different intervals to take a photo of yourself, and it's not going to do that for the entire assessment. So please don't worry if you're writing a 2-hour or 3-hour exam and within the first 30 minutes you haven't had any requests from the app. That's perfectly normal. We normally only request 1 or 2 photos in terms of your selfies, so they are going to be spread out during your assessment. So you're only going to get a few notifications. They are going to be spread out, and one of those notifications is going to be to take a photo of yourself. So we do a photo check to make sure you are the correct student that is writing that assessment. We've also got voice detection taking place on the application, so please don't speak during the assessment. It's okay if someone comes in innocently and talks, or your neighbor's loud. That's not going to be a problem. What is going to be a problem is if you are talking about the assessment or someone is talking to you about the assessment. So just like when you wrote in the exam venue, make sure that you are writing in a quiet place, as quiet as possible, and that no one is talking to you and you are not talking to anyone about the test, because you are writing an exam. We've also got a built-in browser, as Richard mentioned earlier. So if you are a student that only has access to one device, it's not a problem. You will still be able to start the Invigilator app, and then you'll be able to access your learner management system by clicking the button that says Access LMS on your phone, and it will take you then to myUNISA to navigate and find your question paper so that you can then handwrite your responses. At the end of the test or assessment, the application is going to prompt you to scan your script in and upload that script for us to check. That does mean you still need to upload your script to myUNISA for marking. So always make sure that you complete the process in terms of what the app is asking you to do from our side. But just remember that that is the invigilation side. You still need to make sure myUNISA is uploading your script to. And again, the PDF will be saved on your device, so you don't need to scan your script multiple times. You will have access to that PDF document on the mobile phone once you have scanned your script in. It'll upload immediately for us, and then you'll be able to save that script and then upload it to myUNISA for marking as well. There might be some other instructions coming through the app, typically a photo of your ID document or student card. So please make sure, just like you did when you were writing an in-venue exam, that you do have some sort of identification document nearby, so that when the application requests that, it's just a simple picture you take and you carry on writing your assessment. Please don't use your phone for anything else. The application will be tracking what you are doing on that phone. So please make sure the application is the only thing running on that phone while you are writing your assessment. Otherwise, you will be flagged for out of app time, and we do not want that. And then lastly, please make sure that you are writing in a location with students not assisting you from UNISA, because that will also be detected through the app. So nothing to worry about in terms of if you are going to behave the right way. The application is just simply going to be there to do a few checks. So please make sure you follow the instructions and ultimately just make sure that we are abiding by exam conduct. Nothing to worry about in terms of the app. Now, something very important is to make sure that you take this number down, and I'm going to get into why in a little bit. But for everyone on the call, that number there, 073 505 8273, can be WhatsApped at any point in time. So don't phone it, WhatsApp that number, because our support center will assist you with any query you have, whether it's registering, you're struggling with something, you don't know how to install the application, to any technical issues you're experiencing. Our support center is there to help you. And for new students using the app for the first time, please just make sure that you download and install the application in advance of your first test, because if it's 5 minutes until your test starts and you're only doing it then you might be in the queue to be assisted, and it might mean that you're not up and running in time before your exam starts. So just make sure that you are doing what you need to do and following the instructions in advance of your first test or examination so that you're all set and ready to go. Great. In moving to the student user guide, and this is going to take you into a little bit more detail now of exactly how the application will now work. So everyone has got access to this document. Again, on the website that Richard shared earlier, all of these resources are available for you to make use of. So I'm working off this document that you have got access to. So step one in how to use the Invigilator app is simply download the application. So go to any one of the app stores, type in the Invigilator, download the application. Step two is going to be registering on the app. So new users need to make sure you are putting your myUNISA email address in. So your UNISA student email address you need to use to register with, and your UNISA student number. Follow all of the different fields, create a password, and successfully sign up and register for the Invigilator application. If you are receiving that red message that says this email has not been confirmed or verified by your institution, please remember you need to use your UNISA email address. If you are using your UNISA email address and you are seeing an error message that it has not been verified, it's most likely that you are making a spelling mistake. So please just double check your email address is correct, and please make sure your student number is correct. And if it still is, and you're still having a problem, you're going to reach out and pop a WhatsApp through to our support center, and one of our agents will then help you through the registration process as well. But as I mentioned earlier, please make sure you do this well in advance of your first test, so that just in case there's an issue, we have then got time to assist you in a nice, calm manner without you needing to start your exam immediately. Step three, you're going to be required to verify your account. So you will get a PIN that will be emailed to that email address. Please make sure you enter that PIN into the Invigilator app to activate your account. If you are having any issues with retrieving the email, you can also then use a verification PIN through your cell phone number. So there are different ways again for you to receive that verification PIN to activate your account. And then lastly, if you do have any issues, you can always pop a message to our support center, who will then help you retrieve that PIN in advance of your first test. Once you have been through these steps, we are going to then perform a calibration. And this is going to just take you through the way the Invigilator works. So the sound that the phone is going to make when it's requesting a selfie, what it's going to look like when you need to take a photo of a student card or an ID document, what it's going to look like when you are uploading your script at the end. You are then going to get a nice walkthrough, very slow demo at your own pace of how the Invigilator application works. And at the same time, we are also then just double checking that your mobile phone that you are using is all working. You've got a camera that's going to do what it needs to do. The microphone is working, and that there's not going to be any issues when you write your assessment. So very important to do this in advance of your first test, so that once you are now done with the calibration, you will then know everything's working on your Invigilator app account, and the cell phone that you are using for your tests is all in working order as well. So it's going to take you through a walking demo called a calibration that's going to give you a little bit more of a clearer idea on the way the Invigilator application is then going to work. After you are done with this, we are going to request a master file photo of you. So similar to what Richard showed you earlier in terms of the Moodle proctoring tool, we also need a nice clear photo of what you look like. So also don't take a photo of your dog or the fridge or the ceiling. We need a photo of you, please. So please make sure that you have got a nice clear photo of yourself. Otherwise, you are going to get false flaggings, and the photos you are taking during the assessment is not going to match to the photo we have on file for you. So to avoid that, just make sure that you are capturing a nice clean image of yourself that we can then use to compare your exam photos back to using facial recognition. Now, very important, once you've been through these steps, we have something called a demo code. So there's a demo code in the student user guide. It looks like this. Right, so I just want to get through. So there's your demo code. So you can scan this code. If you don't want to scan it, you can enter the numbers there, the 5E57C6B8, and it's going to kick off a very short demo test for you that's going to replicate what the app is going to do for you in your first test or examination. It's a very simple application to use. Once you signed up and registered, the only thing you are going to do is scan this QR code or enter the code, and the app is going to automatically kick off. So the time of your exam will then start running. You're going to place the app next to you. You're going to handwrite your assessment or type it out on a different device. If you've only got your cell phone, you can still access the learner management system or myUNISA through the application and then write your or type your answers out next to the phone while it is running. Once you are done with the demo test, this is going to give you a really good idea of how the application works. So let it run a bit. It's going to ask you for a selfie. It's going to ask you for a photo. It's going to run. It's going to ask you to upload a document. Once you've been through this demo test, you are then going to know exactly how the Invigilator application is supposed to work. So nothing scary about it. You just need to make sure, number one, you download the Invigilator in advance of your first test. Number two, you register on the app by putting your UNISA email address in, your UNISA student number in, and then number three, please make sure you do at least one demo test so that you can get a feel for how the Invigilator application is going to work for your first test. And then when your first test comes, all you are doing is scanning the QR code or entering the code into the device if you prefer to type it in. Leave your phone next to you while the application is running and just follow the instructions, and all of those instructions will be there in that short demo test. It's only going to take you a few minutes to perform that demo test, but after you have done that, you are then going to know exactly how the Invigilator application works. The application has now done close to 6.5 million assessments through the platform. So lots of students have used this application, but it's important to just follow the instructions, register in time, and make sure you do one demo test so that you familiarize yourself with how the application works so that you don't feel uneasy on your first day of your tests or your examinations. Again, here is our support number. Now, this support number is here for anything. So any questions you have, any user issues, any technical issues, please make sure you do not suffer in silence. Our team is here to help and support you. So anything that you need to communicate through, please make sure you do that on 073 505 8273. So remember, you can't phone this number. You need to WhatsApp your issue through to that number, and one of the agents will then be assigned your ticket. They will respond to you. They will assist you. And please remember, if you are writing your exam and you experience any issues, rather reach out to us immediately so that we can assist you and document the ticket so that you are not disadvantaged in using the technology and that you are put back on track in writing the exam. The biggest trick comes down to making sure you have registered and downloaded the app in time and that you have done at least one demo test. If you have done that and everything is working on your device, you can be sure that for your tests, everything is then going to be smooth. Please just make sure you are not 2 minutes before your first test now panic installing and not knowing what to do, because you might then only be assisted into your exam, and that's going to just create unnecessary anxiety. This can all be done well in advance. So after this call tonight, it's going to take you a couple of minutes. Go to the App Store, download the app, register, do a demo test. If you're not comfortable, do another demo test. And if you need any further assistance or any questions answered, please make sure that you reach out to our support center by WhatsApping your issue or question through to 073 505 8273. All the best for your upcoming assessments and examinations. I know it's always a stressful time, but please, you've got nothing to worry about with the Invigilator. It's there to do its thing. But if you are prepared and you download and install before and do a demo test, then everything will work as it should, and you will be on the road to successfully completing all of your examinations this mid-year. Thank you so much, Richard. That's it from my side.
Thank you, Nick. So yes, students, please go get the Invigilator app as soon as possible. So once you've checked, the Invigilator lookup tool, and you see you're going to be using the Invigilator app, go and download it as soon as possible. Do not wait for the day of the examination. I will also show you later the mock exams that you can do, where you can have a real experience of how it will work in the examinations as well. So just I see there's quite a few questions that came in already. So remember, if you're going to be typing out your answers, what you do is you run the app on your phone, you put it next to you. It can go, as long as it's the main app running, it will fade obviously to black, but it will be running at the background and give you notifications. Once you are done, you're going to have to then submit the photo. So you just scroll through the document that you typed out and you take pictures of it, and that's for the uploading in the app. But then obviously on the myExams portal, this is where you will actually upload your PDF document or your Word document. So just make sure of that. And then, as we always say, if you need to go to the bathroom or something, just say it out loud into the app. So say you do get flagged, the person that's actually listening to that audio will know exactly what you were doing. So that's the same if you need to go print out something or anything like that. Just always make sure you tell the app. So if you get flagged, somebody listens to it, they will know what you are doing. So just that also brings me to another point, is remember, if you get flagged, it doesn't mean that academic dishonesty took place. It was just perhaps a loud sound or something that's in the app. But remember, it's still going to be a person that actually goes through those recordings and making sure that academic dishonesty has taken place. So just note, flagged is not an immediate that you're going to get 0. It will still get reviewed by actual person as well. Now, we've got this little diagram here that you can use as a guide for the day of your examinations. Let me just get my pointer over here. So what we're going to say is, say you're writing the exam from 9 o'clock until 11. So start time is 9 o'clock. Submission due time is 11 o'clock. So remember, 15 minutes before the start time, the exam portal actually opens up. So if you're already on the page, 15 minutes before time, you can just refresh the page and you will have access to your examination. What you do here is you download your question paper. You also start the Invigilator app, get the QR code ready. So this is really your preparation time, is this 15 minutes where you start up the app and go through the question paper quickly to see how you should approach answering it. So this means then start time is 9 o'clock. So this is where you should then have the app already activated and you're starting to write. So the invigilation process starts here. And here it will ping, for take a picture, a selfie, or a picture of your ID. So just have all of that available. Now, after 30 minutes, so say this is now 9:30, you will not be able to activate the app anymore. This is basically being considered you are late for the examination. So just make sure within this 45-minute period, you do have the app activated. So as we mentioned, during the app, you will get pinged for if you need to do anything, but else you can actually put your phone on flight mode. The only time you need internet access with your phone is when you scan the QR code to start the procedure, and then at the end when you do the uploading. So during this time, you can actually put it on flight mode. It will save everything on the device, And then afterwards, when you do the uploading, that is when you do need internet again. Now, just here, where if you write all the way till 11, that means you must stop. You can't continue writing after 11. This is when you only get time for submission. So on the app, the Invigilator app, you get 10 minutes to scan your documents. So that means you're taking photos with the app, each page, and you start the upload process. So for this, you get 10 minutes to do that scanning. On myExams, you get 30 minutes. So that's why we say first submit on the Invigilator app, and then you go and submit on myExams. Because you do get a little bit of extra time, but make sure that you submit on both platforms. So if the myExams portal is down or you're having experienced technical difficulties with it, they will actually use the files that you uploaded to the Invigilator app. So that just makes sure when you take these scanning in your documents, do it with good quality, because you never know. This is your backup, you can almost say, in case anything else goes wrong. But remember, after the 30 minutes, this is when submission closes, and you will not be able to upload anymore. So only use this time from 11, if you're writing to 11, for uploading. No writing after this. And why do you need to upload it on the app? Because you need to verify what you submitted is what was proctored. So that's why where they, if there's any changes or anything like that between the documents, then I know there was some academic dishonesty. So I just quickly while we're on the Invigilator app, just take you through its mock exam as well. So each section, you'll notice on this page, we've got a lesson 7, mock exams, but also each one. For instance, if you go to the Invigilator app, at the bottom, there's a link to its specific mock exam. So go do these mock exams as soon as possible, because this will really give you a good idea how everything works. So we're going to get to Moodle Proctoring now. So the Invigilator app, it's got its mock exam. I'll put the link in the chat as well. So this one, when you come and do it like you would do your actual examinations. So you log in here, you go to your question paper, and remember this one you can test quite a few times to make sure that everything is working on your side with the app and with your submission. So this mock exam, as I mentioned, is mimics a take-home examination. And this is basically just using the assignments tool. So if you've done a written assignment already, where you submitted a PDF document or Word document, or you scanned in what you typed out, it works exactly the same. The only aspects that's a bit different is that you're going to be using the Invigilator app that's running on your phone. So when you come and do this mock exam, especially for the Invigilator app, come download the question paper like you would do, type it out or write it out by hand, exactly like you would do in the examination, and then upload that document. So you scan it into the app and you upload it onto this platform as well. So it's just taking a bit of time to load the question now. As we mentioned, ICT is currently looking into this, so by tomorrow, the site should be a lot faster. So as you can see, here's basically the instructions for the mock exam. Is you get 10 minutes. So you basically scroll down, you download your question paper. It's the PDF document. If you open it up, you'll notice there is actually a question. Briefly explain what you understand by an online exam at UNISA. So this is the, how can I say, the question paper. You download this at the bottom, like you would do on your exam site as well. Now, once you ready, you start the app, you scan the QR code, or you can type in this code manually at the bottom as well. So just scan it with your phone to start the invigilation process. So that means you can now write out, this question. what you understand about online examinations at UNISA. Once you're ready to submit, so it can either be by hand or you typed it out. You follow the instructions on the app to say done, and you start the upload process, the scanning, and as you would do with your examinations. And then once you've done that, you come here and you add a submission. So it will actually say add submission. So if we go click on this, it works exactly the same as the ones that you have on my modules that you've submitted your assignments to already. So you just upload the document, and then once it's uploaded, so it will say submitted for grading, just click on the document again at the bottom. So for instance, here it's still loading. Just click on the document to make sure you've got the correct document submitted. You'll be surprised how many incorrect documents they get submitted, because in the haste you name it the module code, but then you accidentally upload a tutorial letter, for instance, for that module. So always afterwards click on the link, make sure that you can access the document, that it's not password protected or anything like that. Now remember, you just add a file, you click on this add button. You always want to be on upload a file on this side. So if you accidentally click on one of the other ones, just make sure you go back to upload a file, and this will be allow you then to upload a file from your device. The scanned documents that you do with the app, you can actually submit that as well. The photos that you take, you can email it to your MyLife, for instance, and upload that document if you do not have a scanner and you are writing it out by hand. Now, just remember, when you do a submission, you need to tick the box that this is your own work. Always have a look at the maximum file size and how many files you can submit. Now, you'll notice, for instance, this one, we only accept PDF documents. So just know some modules do, is very strict with what type of documents they accept. But PDF is generally a safe route where you just go file, save as the document to PDF, and you can upload it. So just always make sure, check the maximum file size, how many files you can upload, and also tick the box, and then you can click on Save Changes. So that's for the Invigilator app. So I'm going to quickly go back to our other proctoring tools. So we've had a look at the Invigilator app, only used for take-home exams. Now we're going to look at Moodle proctoring, and this is used for MCQ type of exams. Now, what's nice about this one, you don't need to install anything. It basically takes a picture of you at random times. All you need to do is basically agree with the validation process. It will use your built-in camera for your device. So you do need a working camera on your laptop, or if you're doing it on your phone, it will use your phone's camera as well. So remember, you can't do the proctoring on this one on a separate device. It must be on the device that you actually use to answer the MCQ questions. So just make sure your camera is working. Test out so you can test it out with the mock exam as well. Just remember, a lot of laptops got privacy sliders over the cameras. So if you're not seeing the picture, just make sure that the camera is active and that you have clicked the privacy slider. I'm just quickly gonna load this one quickly. So if you're on the, if you want to go through the steps on how to set this up as well, remember we've already covered now the Invigilator app, so it's under lesson 3. And then we've also got Moodle proctoring. So we also call it webcam or camera type of proctoring. So as mentioned, first come and search which modules will be using the Moodle proctoring. And you can actually click on the link as well for that module. It will take you directly to that specific page. Now, as we mentioned with this one, the only thing that you really need to do is allow your camera. So the first time you will access the page, it will actually give you a pop-up to say that you need to allow your camera. So you'll also notice these type of assessments that got this message over here. To continue with the quiz attempt, you must open your webcam and it will take some of your pictures randomly during the quiz. So remember, this can be your webcam, the camera on your laptop, or the camera on your phone as well that you can use. A pop-up will come up where you need to click allow to allow the camera to be used. And then finally, it will you can click on the attempt quiz now. Now, the last thing that you need to do is it will actually show your picture, and you need to click on I agree with the validation process, and then you start the attempt. And you'll notice on the the right-hand side, there will be, the quiz number of questions, and it will actually display your picture as well. So as always, we've got a short video on it, but it also has its own dedicated mock exam. So let's just quickly open up this one. Yeah, here we go, Moodle Proctoring. So Moodle Proctoring, as we mentioned, it uses the quiz type of assessment. You'll notice we've actually got a different, a specific one for decision sciences as well that uses the Moodle Proctoring. And this is, where you have to work up formulas, all that type of fun things. So if you're doing decision sciences, you can do this one that's specifically made for you. But for everybody else, you can just go to the mock MCQ exam. Now, as we mentioned, the first time you're going to access it, it's going to give you a pop-up to allow your camera. So just make sure that you tick allow, else you need to go back onto your browser settings and allow the camera from there manually. Yeah, so definitely also make sure there's no other apps using your camera. So for instance, a lot of times if you've got Teams open, your camera is on, it will not, be able to capture the camera. So make sure nothing else is blocking it. Also, a good tip, you can actually use the camera app on your, for instance, Windows. You just type in camera and make sure from there that the camera is working. So as you can see here, it popped up. Now it wants to use the camera, so I can click on allow. So that means I will then be able to attempt this quiz. So just go through the instructions. It's got 10 questions. If you have any problems with Moodle proctoring, we've got the support email address here as well, proctoring inquiries at UNISA. So these are the people that you will email at UNISA if you've got problems with any of the proctoring tools. So I'm just going to say reattempt quiz. So it will ask me to accept the camera. I agree with the validation process, and then I can click on start attempt. So as we mentioned, if you've done an assignment with a quiz already, it works exactly the same. So as also mentioned, still the site is very slow, but we will have it fixed by tomorrow with ICT. Now, when you do your, how can I say, your assessments on here, just make sure you answer each question before proceeding to the next one. So this is something that's a bit different from, if you perhaps did a quiz assignment, you can go back and forth and, perhaps highlight the one and then go back to it afterwards to answer it. Most of the exams are set up with MCQ. It's sequential. So you need to answer the question before you can go to the next one, and you can't go back as well. Now, a lot of questions that we have, especially with MCQs, what happens if you lose connectivity during your assessment? So remember, it saves your state as it goes through. It will save each question that you submit. So let's quickly work through this one over here. What is UNISA myExams platform? We can just say write online exams. So you answer the question, then you click on the next one, as you will not be able to go back to the questions. Also note these questions are randomized. So if you're on a WhatsApp group and people start saying, oh, B is this, question is this, remember they've got different questions. So each person will have a unique set of questions that they get with this type of one. Now, a lot of questions that we also get with Moodle proctoring, does it record your sound? Does it take a video, record the entire session? No, it doesn't. It actually just takes random pictures at certain time intervals. So it's more there to make sure it is actually you writing this assessment. So just like your quizzes, you work through each question. It will tell you also how many, what time you've got left, for this specific one. So you can just basically, you can even close this block on the side as well if you want to focus just on the questions. So once you are done, you select submit all and finish, and it will submit all of your questions. Now, these assessments are also set up. So say you lose connectivity. I see load shedding is starting again today. It will actually automatically submit everything that you have answered to a certain point as well. So if you lose connectivity, it will still be graded on what you were able to complete. So this is Moodle proctoring. So remember, as you can see here, it must be on the device. So you can't have the camera on your phone and you work on your laptop or desktop. The same device needs this camera activated. So that's Moodle proctoring. It's one of the easiest. You don't need to set up anything. It just works with your device's camera. Just you want to close this page. And just like the quizzes, once you're done, you submit all and finish, and it will give you a message that everything has been submitted. But as mentioned, once you reach the due time, it will actually automatically submit everything that you have answered up to that point. So then that brings us then to the last proctoring tool that we will quickly have a look at. Now, this is iris invigilation. So as we mentioned earlier, this is only used by the College of Science, Engineering, Technology currently. So, and you use this for MCQ and take-home assessments. So just note this one you won't be using Moodle or the Invigilator app if you're from CSET. You will only be using this app. And this app only runs on a laptop or desktop computer. And what you need is Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge. So it's a browser extension that you use for this one. So for this, your computer do require a microphone and a camera. So remember, if you're using a desktop, you will need to get a webcam that's got a built-in microphone as well. So if we look at the our page over here, so iris invigilation is also covered under lesson 3. Now, very importantly, what I do want to show you on this page is we actually got the link to the website, the developers of this iris tool. So the same with iris, the Invigilator app. This is third-party tools. So that means it's not developed by UNISA. When you go for support, you can actually go to the app supplier directly. But in terms of any general questions, you can always email that address proctoring support so that they can assist you. So make sure you've got this proctoring inquiries at UNISA email saved somewhere. I'll put it in the chat as well in case you want to ask any questions regarding the proctoring tools. So iris setup instructions. On this page, I'll copy the link for you in the chat now as well. There is a document that works, takes you through setting it up. But I really like this official iris website. And I'll give you the link in the chat if you need to set this up. So on this official page, they actually made one specifically for UNISA. It will tell you need the browser plugin. There's 2 versions available. One is for Google Chrome, and the other one is for Microsoft Edge. So you need to know which browser you are using. They've also got the latest instructions that you can download. And at the bottom, they've got quite a lot of, how can I say, questions, that students have asked in the past, where you can quickly get answers. So you don't need to wait for support on this end. Now, I'm going to demo this. I'm using Microsoft Edge. So I will be clicking on this icon over here to get the extension. Now, when you get this extension, make sure it's this logo, Iris, and it's developed by Iris Invigilation. There's quite a lot of other apps that's also named Iris, and it's got completely different use cases. So just make sure you do download the correct one. So once you're at the add-on store, remember it will look a bit different for Google Chrome, but it will, the layout, everything is more or less the same. So you just click on this Get button, and it will ask you if you want to add this extension. So you add it, and it will then add it to your browser. You'll see there, download it, and now I've got this iris invigilation icon on top there as well. If you want to see, how can I say, that make sure that it's installed, you can click on this little icon that looks like a puzzle, and that will show you all the extensions that is installed in your browser. Now, I do want to highlight as well, a lot of people ask about privacy, you know, they don't want to keep it on here. So if you click on this puzzle, you can actually click on the three dots and you can remove it very easily from Microsoft Edge, you know, once you're done with your examinations. So it is a good, you know, test it out, make sure you've got the latest version of the extension installed, and then you can come over and do the mock exam for the specific, for iris invigilation. So I just quickly want to get to the correct one here. I had it open already. Here we go. So this is the mock exam for iris proctoring. So you'll notice there's two that you can do. So the one is MCQ and the other one is a file upload. So depending on what type of assessment you will be doing, we'll focus on that one. Now just note the iris MCQ assessments, it will ask for a password. Now that password is automatically filled in by Iris, the plugin. So that's actually one way you can test already that make sure it's working correctly. So remember, even though it's going to ask for a password, you will not be given the password. The Iris tool fills it in automatically. So you just click next to start the assessment. But let's have a look at the file upload, because this procedure to get started with both of them are more or less the same. I'll give the link again. I see there's quite a few questions regarding where do you get the mock exams. Let me just open up the page quickly. So remember, under each lesson for each proctoring tool, it is available there. But we have a page as well dedicated to all the different types of mock exams. So I'll pop the link for you in there as well. Okay, let's just see where this one opens. It's still loading. Let's see here quickly. There we go. So once you visit this page, Iris will pop up. So it will know automatically. So you don't need to do anything. The extension will pop up automatically once you access the page. Now, one thing to note here, you need to agree to the terms and conditions. That's all you need to do. You don't need to consent for data usage. So as soon as you click this top button, it's blue, you can actually continue. I'm going to get an error here now. It's going to say more than one screen has been detected. And this is very important. Remember, with iris invigilation, you may only use one screen. So if you've got a dual desktop setup, like I do, you need to switch off one of the screens. I'm just quickly going to say here, PC screen only. And then I'm going to share my screen again. Let's open up this proctoring. So I need to close it. And then all I need to do is I just go back to where this file upload is. So I just browse back to it. And then Iris will start again once the page loads. While we wait for that, I just want to see if there is any other questions. Okay, do we upload a photo in my exams portal? No, it's only on my modules. Because remember, on my exams, you will actually not be allowed to upload a picture. So once again, I disagree. So now it's first going to ask me what webcam do I want to use. So I'm going to use the OSPOT built-in camera. Click on next. It will ask me also for the microphone that you want to use. So remember, I've got a few because we've got different devices set up, but usually you will just have your default set on your laptop. So it will ask for your full name. So remember, it's your names and surname. We'll ask you for your student number as well. So type in the whole student number without spaces or dashes, just the student number. Click on next. Now this is very important. It's going to ask for your ID card. So this can be your ID. It can also be your driver's license or any photographic identification. So I'm going to use just here, just hold it up. So this is actually my UNISA card. So if you've got a UNISA access card, you can use that as well. So I'm just going to capture the card. It will display there so they can make sure this is me that's writing this assessment. The next one is they want you to scan the room. So all you do in this one, you start scan and then you move your camera around to capture your entire room. So it's just to see what area you are taking the assessment in. So once you're done scanning, you just stop the scan and you will notice it will display there for you as well. Now the next one, you will actually get this pop-up, and this is where a lot of people get stuck. It tells you need to click first on the screen, even though you only have one screen, you need to click on it first and then click on share. So let's quickly say okay. So I'm going to say share screen. So you'll notice I can't click the share button, it's grayed out. I first need to click on the screen. You'll see it's now got a blue border. Now I can click share. So just remember, this is one way, sometimes in the haze, you're struggling, why can't I share? Remember, you first need to click on the screen and then you can click on share. So then we can start the assessment. So I'm ready, everything has been ticked. Then I just click start assessment. So you'll notice now it's actually doing face recognition, face tracking. So it looks where you are looking. It's recording the screen as well and voice. So this is the most intense proctoring basically that is available because it records everything. Now, as this iris is running, you notice you can actually minimize it. So it runs in the background. So you basically focus on answering the exam questions. So this is also, if they allow it, you can write it out by hand, or otherwise you type it in Microsoft Word. Just check with your module lecturer. They will let you know exactly what formats are accepted. So once I'm done, it's exactly the same as the, I'm going to say the Invigilator one. You come and you add your submission, you upload your file, make sure that the file is uploaded correctly by clicking on the file that you uploaded, make sure it is the correct file. So it will, the iris invigilation will continue running, even though it's giving, a countdown, it will continue running until you stop it. So if you go over time, it will still be going on in the background. So you will also notice for this one, obviously you will need internet access when you start it and then also once you stop it, but you will need internet access anyway to access myExams. So once I'm done, I can then just click on finish recording. Now it actually gives you this pop-up block so you don't accidentally click on it. So you have to slide it over all the way from the one to the other side so that before that yes button becomes available. So I'll slide it over and I'll select yes. So it will stop the recording and then it will give you this progress of how it's now uploading everything. So it's uploading the room scan, the audio, the video, the screen files, until everything is uploaded and you get this green tick. So that means everything has been uploaded successfully. So from this stage, you can then close the app knowing that everything has been uploaded. Sometimes for very long sessions, it can take some time. So just let it run the background until you see this green tick over there. And remember, if you get stuck along the way, the email address is the proctoring inquiries that we shared in the chat as well, and they will quickly assist you if you have any problems. I'm just going to quickly swap over to my screens again. Yeah. So that basically covers then the free proctoring tools that's being used. It's Moodle Proctoring, Invigilator app, and Iris Invigilation. There's also now what I use more for the research modules is Turnitin. So just note, if you're going to be using Turnitin, you just upload a document exactly as you would. You won't need any of these additional proctoring tools, and you will just basically give a ULA pop-up that you need to agree, but you upload it exactly the same as any of these submissions that we did. So that brings us to the end of the proctoring tools. So now let's quickly just have a look at, what do you actually do? How do you access your exams? So on the course, we do have a specific section on how do you access the exams. So you can have a look at that, but we will take you step by step through it as well. So this is a process to access it. It's not a process, it's a very short one, but you will visit the myExams portal. From there, it will be a selection of the modules being written on a certain date. You select the module you'll be writing, and that will open up the college's instance for that exam. And you sign in exactly as you do on my modules. So if we have a look at this one, on my UNISA, you can click on the myExams link. You select the day on which you will be writing. They actually have now 7 days of options. So remember, if you are writing after that, it will still be loaded. They only load for 7 days in advance. Once you click on the date, you select your module, and this will open up a login page where you can then access your exam. So I really recommend doing this. If you're writing in 5 days, go and do it. Go log in so you can insert your password, all of that for the first time you're signing in, so that you make sure you've got access to the platform. So let's just quickly have a look at this. So if we open up again the browser, so if we go to my modules, I'll open up the correct one here. So if we go to my modules, I'm just going to go to the main page. You'll notice you don't need to log in to access the exams portal. It's under here, important links. If you click on My Exams, this will open up the My Exams page. You'll also see there's exams contact details as well. Very important. If you have any problems with your examinations, this is where you can get all the contact information that you need for exams. Now, as you can see, it only loads 7 days. So it's today's date and then 6 days in advance. So what you'll do is you select the date on which you will be writing. So I'm just quickly having a look here. So you select the date. So say you're writing now on the 14th, you select 14th, and then from the list, you select your module. Now do this in advance so that you know you've got access. So it will ask you to sign in, and you sign in with your My Modules, your My Life email, and your My Modules password. So it's exactly the same. You'll notice here there's no picture. I won't, even if I go to profile, you notice I can't even edit it. So pictures only for my modules. It does not need to show here. From the My Exams drop-down, you'll notice where it's usually My Modules. This is where it will now basically give you a drop-down of all the modules that you've got access to write the exams. So currently, I don't have any modules loaded on my profile, but it works exactly, as you would select your module in My Modules, you select the module you'll be writing, and usually it's got a layout, very similar. Let me just quickly show you this one over here. All of them more or less have the same layout as, it will have a welcome message. There will be announcements, additional resources if required. So you select the module and it will appear here at the bottom right, usually the assessment. Now remember, these ones open 15 minutes before the time. So go 15 minutes beforehand, and then when it reaches 15 minutes, just refresh the page and you will see then you've got access to the module and you can go and download the resources. So really, get yourself, comfortable 15 minutes before time. Remember, it won't just automatically suddenly show open. You do need to refresh the page once you're ready, and it will then show as open on your side. Now, why I also say do this, access this portal as soon as possible. Sometimes it does happen that your profile was not created correctly, and you've got enough time for ICT to fix it for you. So just go 5 days ahead of time, sign in, make sure you've got the password, that you don't need to struggle with passwords on the day, and that you've got access. You can actually go view the modules you'll be writing as well to make sure the correct modules has been assigned to you. One of the, as we know already, we use two-factor authentication. So you get a WhatsApp message, PIN. Another way you can also set this up is with Microsoft Authentication, the Authenticator app from Microsoft, where you can actually load your account, and it just makes it a bit quicker for you to get the codes in case you need to access, insert the code the first time that you access it. So, sometimes the messaging might take be a bit slow. So, but if you're comfortable with the Authenticator app, this is a good way to make sure you've always got the codes. The Authenticator app is also if you're perhaps an international student, or you're traveling abroad, and you won't have your normal cell phone, although they now use WhatsApp as well. But this is still the most secure way to make sure that you've always got access to these codes wherever you're traveling. So as you now notice, there is, we've already been talking quite a lot about MCQ exams, take-home exams. So just to really drive this in, MCQ exams are basically quizzes. If you've done assignments where you've used the quiz, where you select the multiple choice, it's exactly the same. And generally what you will use for this is Moodle Proctoring. And then we've got the different one, take-home exams. This is basically using the assignments tool. This is where you upload documents. The take-home exams basically means you have to write out a sentence or essay, or answer multiple questions in a document that you're going to upload. But on your exam timetable, you might also get different ones, module arrangement. Now, what does it mean if you've got module arrangement? It means basically you won't be writing on the myExams portal. This is usually things like portfolios or continuous assessments that happens on the My Modules space. So if you get modules arrangements, you won't be using any proctoring. You will also not log into the myExams portal to submit it. You will actually submit everything on your My Modules, the module code, the site for the module. So just note, this is usually portfolios or continuous assessments. So on the myExams, these are the only two that take place there, and that's the MCQ exams and the take-home exams. The only one that's different is if you're from CSET, you will use IRIS for both of them. But otherwise, if you're from any of the other colleges, you will use Moodle Proctoring for MCQ and the Invigilator app for take-home exams. Now, just also, if you have any problems, you can email mymodule22@unisa.ac.za. But if it's specifically with the proctoring tools, rather use the proctoring inquiries to get quick support. So this brings me then to our final stage. So we've already got now where you prepared, you tested out your proctoring tools. Now basically and you know how to access your exams on the day. The last one we're going to look at is just finding support. So there is quite a few support channels. One of them are regional support. So for this one, it's also very easy. You can go to your regional center, to the computer lab there, and they can help you out. If you want to find out how you contact them, if you go to myUnisa, you can also go to student support and regions and then search for your regional center. So I'm just quickly student supports and regions, regional centers, and all of the contact details for the various regions is available on here. So it's one of the quickest way usually to get support is to go to a regional center and ask them to help you out. So they do provide, support in the labs, with two-factor authentication. If you perhaps, they can even help you setting up your proctoring tools as well, if you need assistance. Now, secondly, we've got the Student Support Contact Center. And I think I saw Jesse, let me just see. Jess, will you be presenting on the Student Support Contact Center? Or will it be Cabello? Oh no, usually it's Panelli. So where the colleagues are. But yes, the Student Support Contact Center is available. It's a toll-free number. You can phone anytime during exams. So just very importantly, when you make contact with the Student Support Contact Center, make sure you select the correct option. Obviously, they're going to prioritize exam inquiries. So select the correct option. It's option number 4 that you need to select specifically for exams. So if you select the incorrect one, you might need to wait a little bit longer because they are prioritizing for exam-related questions. But they also have quite various, types of mailboxes. You can just email inquire@unisa.ac.za. For data inquiries, you can do data queries at unisa.ac.za. If it's specifically with Moodle, my modules, you can do mymodule22@unisa.ac.za. And then specifically for exam, they've got exam inquiries as well. But as I mentioned, make sure when you're going to visit the myExams portal, you just quickly go back to it. If you go to myExams, exam contact details, all the information is available on here as well. So just go through the list, make sure for your specific college so that you've got these numbers in case you have any problems, you can contact them directly. The lecturers and the staff is usually also always on hand to support you with any exam inquiries. Now, I just want to make a note for students who have special needs. So remember, if you're going to be applying for additional time or anything like that, it's not an automatic process. So remember, you first need to declare your disability, and then you apply for special exams. So the email address that you can email is oxford@unisa.ac.za or examdisabled@unisa.ac.za. They will give you a form that you need to complete. It will also need to be signed by your doctor or physician to make sure to just basically so they can determine the severity of the disability. So this you need to do with every single year because remember, conditions can change over time. So that's why they require you to do it every year to apply for special exams. So if you apply for special exams, you also not proctored. so you won't be using any proctoring tool. And they will, if at any time additional time is required, they will provide you with that as well. So please make contact with them at Oxford or Exam Disabled to get the forms that you need to complete for special exams. Now, I just want to highlight as well, we've got on our platform where we have all the various proctoring tools. Let me just quickly get back to that one. Got so many tabs open right now. So if you go, there's actually a take-home assessment for students with special needs as well. You can do the take-home and the MCQ, and you'll notice these ones do not use any proctoring. So if you just want to test out, how it will work without the proctoring tools, you can use this last one as well to test it out. Let me just get back to my screen here. So Luwazi is online as well, where you can actually ask questions regarding the exams. Luwazi is actually just taking a break at the moment while we wait for new tokens for Luwazi. But remember, Luwazi is our online assistant, AI driven, actually uses the latest AI models as well in the backend. So you can always ask Luwazi online any questions that you might have. Now, just the last one, I'm going to put in the chat just the evaluation form. Please complete the evaluation form. This really helps us, for future sessions to see perhaps what are you struggling with, that we can really focus on that. So I'm just going to paste the link for the evaluation form, but you can also scan the QR code that's on your screen or visit the bit.ly link as well. And then I'm also at the same time, if you did the pre-course assessment, please now complete the post-course assessment because this will really show you all the, how can I say, new topics you've learned. And it will also give us a good indication in future sessions, perhaps where we need to focus on more, if there's perhaps anything that you are not, too comfortable yet. EULA, yes, the EULA, that's when you're going to be using Turnitin. It will give a pop-up. You just need to accept the license agreement, and then you just submit like you normally do. It will go automatically through Turnitin. So the EULA that you're talking about is basically for Turnitin submissions that you also submit on myExams, but it will automatically go through Turnitin. The only thing that you need to do is tick the box. So yes, please complete the post-course assessment. The link is also in the chat. That basically brings us to the end for today. I just want to highlight one thing. If you go on this tab on our site to co-curricular activities, just open up the page that I had for that. Put some on this one. There we go. Under co-curricular activities, you'll notice the exam training is currently listed on here. If you book this session, so you just basically click on book now. What's nice about it, you will actually then be notified, by email for the next sessions as well. So in case you don't want to miss the next one, you just click on the book now button and you will get emails the day before to just remind you to join the sessions. So today we on Tuesday, 13th of May. So this is the session we completed. We already had one on Saturday as well. But as you can see, there's still going to be 3 more sessions that we're going to be running. And this is the formal workshops, we always call them. So this is generally where you can't necessarily ask questions, but this is where we take you through all the material. But then we're going to have these 2 blast sessions. So the first one we're actually having this Saturday, and then we're having it the Saturday after that as well. So they are a bit different. So this is not just you listening to us talking about all these various topics. This is we expected that you already attended one of these sessions over here. you've done the mock exam, but now you've got additional questions, or you're perhaps stuck somewhere and you need some additional help. This is where we open it up your microphone, you ask your question, you tell us where you get stuck, we walk you through it, and then everybody else also learns from, any hurdles that you might have in using these proctoring tools or accessing the online exams. So this is really valuable sessions. What we also usually try and do is we have staff from student support. So anything that we can then help you with, we can resolve it very quickly. So please make use of these blast sessions after you've gone through the mock exams and the material. And if there's anything else that you still need assistance with, these are open sessions where you can turn on your microphone and we walk you through any aspects that you need assistance with. So with that, that's then all from me for today. Thank you everybody for joining. If you have any questions, remember you can also email us at adovh@unisa.ac.za. We try and, respond very quickly, or we escalate it to the correct people as well, because we really want to see you succeed with this examinations. So thank you everybody for joining. All the best with your exams. Go test out the mock exams and you'll see how easy it is to use these tools, and then rather focus on just studying your material for the exams, because that's in the end, the main goal is that you learn your module content to really succeed. So thank you everybody. We'll see you again in the next session. Please feel free to come join the blast sessions if you have any questions, and we can walk you through anything that you perhaps are uncertain of or we need some additional help. Thanks everyone. Bye.